Hello, welcome to the read of the December 2024 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine. My name is Lynette, and I am reading in the For the Love of Relationships section of the December 2024 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free online at loveexquisitellc.com. And the article is titled Trust and Loyalty. I also want to thank my friend again for giving me this title to write about. I was not feeling too well, so my mind wasn't cooperating with me, and so I asked for some suggestions on what titles and topics to write about in this month's magazine, and these were the topics. So, thank you, my friend. You know who you are. Trust and loyalty are essential elements to every relationship. Trust is earned by the actions of your mate towards you. Trust is developed when your mate does things that gives you the feelings of confidence in your partner's words and actions, believing that they will be there for you when needed because it has become a pattern behavior, meaning that they have shown you that they are there for you when you need it, not just by words, but by actions. They actually showed up and have been there, or they honored their word to you. If they said they were going to do something, they did it, and that helps build trust. When you trust your mate, you have assurance that they have your best interests at heart. Trust is the foundation of a healthy relationship. It is what you need in the relationship to be loyal to the relationship. When you have trust in your mate, you can approach the relationship without fear of being hurt. Trust is developed when there is transparency in the relationship, meaning open and honest communication. When your mate is reliable, they show up by their actions that you can count on them. They show you that you can count on them when you need them, and they honor their word, as I said before. You can also be vulnerable with this type of person because they show you that they protect your emotions by caring about what they do and say to you and how those things impact you in your life. You also have feelings of safety when your mate proves themselves as trustworthy. So you feel safe when you know that you can trust your mate. In a relationship full of trust, you also have a love and respect for one another. That's key. A love and respect for one another. Trust is something that you have to build by honoring your word and actions, not just one time, but consistently. People who do not trust easily usually have a reason that they don't trust their mate. It could be based on a previous experience with someone else, or a previous experience with their mate. It might be a similar situation that they've been through in the past, and unfortunately, they're holding that against you, which is not a good thing to do. But I'm just saying that sometimes it does happen. So you have to be mindful of that. I always say, don't make someone else pay for the crime that someone else committed. It's not fair to your mate. So if you don't trust your mate, let it be because of something that he or she did to you, not because of what someone else did or said to you. So work towards building or rebuilding trust when broken. If the relationship is worth saving, that is. So if the relationship is worth saving, you want to make sure that you work on building trust and loyalty. A relationship is not easy to sustain long term when trust and loyalty are broken. It is not that neither are repairable. It is that it will probably take much more time and energy than either of you are willing to put in when it is broken, when the trust is broken, or when the loyalty is broken. It takes so much work to fix. Sometimes people just don't feel like doing the work necessary. So it's hard to sustain those relationships. So it's always best to be honest in your relationship so that you can build trust in your relationship. So without trust, it's difficult to be loyal to your mate. Loyal goes hand in hand with trust. If there is no loyalty, there is no trust. If there is no trust, there is no loyalty. I mean, loyalty in the aspect of a being in a committed relationship, and I'm not just talking about sexually. I'm not talking about not being committed sexually. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, and physically as well. So, too often in relationships, we use the word loyalty as a weapon to defame our mate's character and try to guilt trip them into staying when we would leave if the roles were reversed. Meaning, if your mate cheated on you, and if they cheated on you or lied to you consistently and say I'm going to do something and you never do it, or you're violent towards them, you would leave in a heartbeat. You wouldn't probably even hesitate. You wouldn't even want to deal with that type of person. So you can't hold your mate to a different standard. You know what I mean? So if you wouldn't deal with it, don't put your mate through it. You know what I mean? Don't expect your mate to deal with it. And don't try to guilt trip them into saying, well, if you love me or if you was loyal to me, you would stay. Or you would, and it's like, well, would you? If I would have done the same thing or I treat you the way you treat me, would you stay? Hmm. So you gotta ask yourself that. I mean, be honest. You know what I mean? Put that mirror up if when you need to. We have to check ourselves in our relationships and say, what part did I contribute into why my mate just doesn't trust me, or why my mate doesn't feel protected enough to be loyal to me. So you have to ask yourself these things and answer them honestly, or ask your mate and let them respond honestly without your rebuttal. You know what I mean? So please know and fully understand that loyalty in a relationship does not mean that your mate should let you treat him or her like shit. Yes, I said it. Uh-huh. And still stay with you. No, anybody, where they do that at? No. Uh-uh. So in any relationship that I'm in, before I'm loyal to you, know this: I'm loyal to my happiness first. Before I'm loyal to you, I'm loyal to my happiness first. And then the disconnect comes in when you impair my happiness, and it causes me to become a bit disloyal to my own happiness. So I always choose my happiness over something or someone that no longer contributes to my happiness. Know that. I always choose my happiness over someone who doesn't contribute to my happiness. If you keep you keep hurting me, or you keep doing things to me that make me sad or detract from my happiness, I have to separate myself from you. And I can do that without feeling guilty, because I love myself, number one, and I'm loyal to my happiness. Period. Period. I wish everybody was loyal to their happiness, because they probably would make different decisions in life, you know? So I will always choose my happiness over someone or something that no longer contributes to my happiness. So when my mate contributes to my happiness, I will remain loyal to him forever. Forever. And that means not leaving. I'm not saying that means when I talk about loyalty, I mean not leaving. I don't mean that I'm going to step out, or I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to do that. I don't do that type of stuff. I just mean I'm not going to leave. When I say loyal, that's what I mean. I don't, because some of y'all think that I'm talking about, oh well, if he don't do this, I'm going to go have sex with somebody, or I'm going to do this or whatever. No, I'm talking about loyalty in the aspect of staying versus leaving. So if I can trust him with my heart, he has me forever. If I can trust you with my heart, you have me forever. But if I can't trust you with my heart, I can't stay. I can't stay, because then it affects my happiness. So loyalty is the responsibility of both parties in the relationship. So I have to be a part of that, and he has to be a part of that. So in your relationships, you have to be a part of that as well. So just as loyal as you want your partner to be to you, you have to be just as loyal to your partner. Just like you want them to be to you, you got to do the same to them. You got to be just as loyal. That commitment to being loyal is what helps to build trust. If you are the cause of why your mate no longer trusts you, you have to work towards rebuilding the trust. If you want your partner to remain with you, it is important that you work together to rebuild that trust, if it's something that you both want to do. If you decide to move on after the trust is broken in your relationships, you will have to let the next person you are in a relationship with enter your life with a clean slate, meaning they have not done anything to you for you to distrust them in the beginning. You know, now further on down the line, I don't know, y'all had to see. But when a person comes to you, when you fresh out of a relationship, you've been hurt, and somebody did something and it caused you to distrust people, you have to give the person that you meet a clean slate, because guess what? They ain't knew what that other person did to you. They didn't do that. So don't put it on them. That's not fair. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them. You want to give a person a clean slate and let them prove themselves to be trustworthy or untrustworthy. And then you make the decision on whether you want to trust them or not. But let them be the cause of why you don't trust them. Don't not trust them because of what somebody else did to you. That's all I'm saying. Don't distrust somebody who hasn't given you a reason to not trust them. That's the moral of the story. Don't hold yourself back from finding love again either. It's because you hurt. Don't be like, well, I ain't loving again. F love. And, or I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do this, and to other people, to hurt people because I'm hurt. No, don't do that. Because guess what? It comes around, baby. And you ain't going to like it when it come back around to you. So just don't hold yourself back from love, and tell the new person, this is all right. So this for y'all, when y'all out here dating and y'all hurting people, or y'all getting hurt, or y'all hurting people because y'all getting hurt, whatever the situation is, leave, heal, and then go back out there in the dating game. Leave, heal, and then go back out there in the dating game. In that order. Leave, heal, and then go back out there in the dating game. And when you meet somebody decent, you meet this new person, right? Ask them, what do you need to feel loved? What do you need to feel loved? And how do you want to be loved? More importantly, how do you need to be loved? 2 questions: the how and the what. And then you got to ask them to ask you. You know what I mean? And know the answer to this question too. Don't say I don't know, because then a person won't give you what you already expecting from them, hiddenly. You know what I mean? So you be open and honest about how you love and what your love language is, what you need to feel love. What do you need to feel loved in your past relationships? When the person did or said something to you, how did it make you feel? What part of that made you feel loved? That is how you answer that question. So how do you need to be loved? What do you need from me? What do you need me to do so that I can assure you that I love you, or that we're working towards that type of love, that I'm speaking that language that you understand and can receive? That's important. So again, those 2 things. What do you need to feel loved? And how do you need to be loved? And then work towards achieving the goals of whatever those responses are. So when your mate tells you what he or she needs from you, please listen. Listen. So there's no room for anybody else to wiggle on in there and try to fill in the gaps, or to fill in the gaps. So when the 2 of you are doing your job, y'all on your job, you say, well, baby, this is what I need. This is how I need to be loved. This is what I need to feel love. And they say the same. They tell you what they need and how they need to be loved. And y'all y'all on your jobs, working on trying to, fulfill those needs for each other. There's no gaps to fill. There's no gaps to fill. And that is the type of relationship that we all want to remain loyal. To remain loyal and to trust. The article is titled Trust and Loyalty, and it's written in the For the Love of Relationships section. So go ahead, if you're in relationships, or the next time you meet somebody, ask them those questions. What do you need to feel loved? And how do you want to be loved? Thank you for listening.